Good morning, everyone. Let's start our Thursday's class where we are learning deep lessons from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So let's do some prayers first. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhur तत्सवितृवरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् अस्तो मा सत्गम्य तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गम्य मृत्योर्मामृतं गम्य ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं कर्वावहि तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्वेषावहि ॐ शान्ति 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 ॐ. We started the fourth chapter, and right in the opening section of this fourth chapter, we'll see that generally this mistake is committed by the aspirants in meditation on the chosen objects. When we consider those objects as whole, but they are limited entities. So this mistake is rectified by bringing into the scope of meditation those parts left out and making the object of meditation the whole. When in addition to the object of meditation, the divine principle in the object, the transcendental principle, and also the experiencing consciousness are also brought into the picture, the meditation becomes complete. So, for example, if you are meditating on a light, diya, or even the form of our chosen deity, if we just limit it, that means we are not doing the meditation completely. We got to see the divinity in that chosen object in its entirety. Only then there will be no distractions of the mind. So in this section, I should say, because fourth chapter, but this is the first section of that chapter, there are 6 meditations which are given. The first one will be speech identified with fire, Hiranyagarbha, and consciousness. Then the prana identified with Vayu, Hiranyagarbha, and love. Then eyes identified with sun, Hiranyagarbha, and truth. Then ear identified with the directions, Hiranyagarbha, and infinity. Then mind identified with moon, Hiranyagarbha, and bliss. And 6th one is heart identified with Prajapati, Hiranyagarbha, and stability. So these are the 6 different ways he's trying to explain to us that do not keep your meditation limited. Because the partial meditations, they definitely yield some beneficial results, but they are not complete. They are like perishable and they are transient. And meditation on the totality results in the identification with the whole. So the instructions given in this section in regard to the 6 objects Let me repeat again. Speech, vital force, eye, ear, mind, and heart. It applies equally to all objects and concepts. When any single object or concept is alone meditated upon with its name and form, it is incomplete contemplation. This is what this Rishi is telling us. Because every object or concept is not really an isolated entity. As sometimes the new students, they mistakenly believe it. Because everything is invisibly and essentially connected with the rest of the universe. It's external, internal, universal, and transcendental. All the four aspects of the object should be taken into consideration in meditation. So in other words, this is the instruction of this Rishi. And who's the Rishi over here? We are familiar from the previous chapter also, Rishi Yajnavalkya. And to whom he is talking, discussing all this? To King Janaka. And through him to the whole aspirant world also. So these lessons or these teachings are not just for only one person, like King Janak, or only few people. Anybody who wants to become one with that higher reality should believe in these instructions, and not just only believe, but practice them also eventually. So now let's open our book. The 4th chapter. And we looked at the first verse of that section on page number 286, where it says, Janak, Emperor of Videha, took his seat to give audience when Yajnavalkya arrived. See, that was a tradition. When the Guru came, even the kings will give their own seats to the Guru. The emperor said to him, Yajnavalkya, with what object have you come? Desiring some cattle or some questions for subtle decisions? Both, indeed, O emperor, said Yajnavalkya. Because these rishis, they lived in the ashrams, and then ashrams were always run with the big-heartedness of the kings. So whenever these rishis, they needed something, they just asked the kings. So now let's look at it. What the long verse number 2. Yatehe kaschit abravit shrinvameti abrivyanne jitvaha shalini vagve brahmiti yatha matriman pitriman acharyavan bruyat tatha tat chali nirbhavi dvagve brahmati avdatoho hi kim syaditi abravitu te tasya yatnam pratishtham na me abraviditi iti ek पाद्वः एतत् सम्राट इति सवे नो ब्रूहि याज्ञवल्क्यः वागे वायतनम् आकाशः प्रतिष्ठः प्रज्ञेतेन दुपासीत का प्रज्ञतः याज्ञवल्क्यः वागेव सम्राट इति होवाच वाचा वे सम्राट बन्धु प्रज्ञाते ऋग्वेदो यजुर्वेदः सामवेदो अथर्व अंग्रेसः इतिहासः पुराणं विद्या उपनिषदः श्लोकः सूत्राण्ये अनु व्याख्यानानि इष्टम हुतम आशितम पायितम अयम च लोकः परश्च लोकः सर्वाणि च भूतानि वाच एव सम्राट प्रज्ञन्ते वाग्वे सम्राट परमं ब्रह्म नैनम वाग्जहाति सर्वाण्येनम भूयान्त अभिक्षरन्ति देवो भूत्वा देवान् पेयति य एवं विद्वान् उत्पासते हस्ते ऋषभं सहस्रं ददामिति होवाच जनको विदेहा स होवाच यज्ञवल्क्यः पिता मे अमन्यन्त नानुः शिष्ये हरेर इति. So the English translation of this big verse is on page number 289 in our little books. Let me hear what anyone may have told you. Jitvan, the son of Shilin, has told me that the organ of speech is verily Brahma. So this is King Janak is telling Rishi Yajnavalkya. So in the past, the son of Shilin, Jitvan, he must have come over there. So he told King Janak that the organ of speech is verily Brahma. As one who has had a mother, a father, and a teacher should say, so has the son of Shilin said this, that the organ of speech is verily Brahma. For what can a speechless person attain? But did he tell you about its body and support? He did not tell me, King Janak said that. This Brahma has only 1 foot, O emperor. So in other words, Yajnavalkya is saying, what he told you, that's only one part. It's not the complete truth. So you tell us, Yajnavalkya, the organ of speech is indeed its body, and the undifferentiated its sport. It should be meditated upon as intelligence. What constitutes intelligence, Yajnavalkya? The organ of speech itself, O emperor, said Yajnavalkya. Verily, through the organ of speech, O emperor, a friend is known. The Rig Ved, Yajurved, Samved, Atharvaved, history, mythology, arts, Upanishads, mantra verses, aphorisms, elucidations, explanations, the result of sacrifices, of fire offerings, and of gifts of food and drink. This life, the next life, and all beings are known through the organ of speech alone, O emperor. The organ of speech, O emperor, is verily the supreme Brahma. The organ of speech does not leave him who, knowing thus, meditates upon it. All beings seek him with the presence, and becoming a god here, he is merged in the gods after death. Janak, emperor of Vidya, said, I offer you 1,000 cows with an elephant-like bull. Yajnavalkya replied, my father believed that one should not accept gifts from a pupil without fully instructing him. Okay, so you can clearly see the guru of Yajnavalkya was his own father. And from here we can see that he said, my instruction is not done yet. This is only part of the truth which I just recited over here. See, just like in the summary I was telling you in the beginning, there are 6 ways he's going to explain. There is a big story behind it. See, these Upanishads, there are stories linked to these deep messages also. So leaving out the story, we are going to concentrate on the instructions on the meditation of speech in this particular verse. So meditation of speech as Brahma. And Brahm is what? Ultimate reality. So according to the instructions of Jitvan, one of King Janak's teachers, and Janak was practicing meditation on fire, the presiding deity of the organ of speech as Brahm. And the organ of speech here refers to its presiding deity. In this and also in the succeeding mantras, 5 mantras actually, the term organs means their presiding deities. Okay, it's not just the physical organs, but the deities, the devata who reside there. Fire is a partial manifestation of Brahma. That's why in this mantra it is mentioned as one-footed, a fourth part. Even though the meditation on fire as Brahma is good, as far as it goes, and is productive of beneficent results, but it is definitely incomplete as it is not all comprehensive. Because the 3 remaining quarters been left out. That's why he said it's 1 foot. So the Upanishad says that these teachers instructed King Janak as one who has a mother, a father, and a teacher should instruct a disciple. So this directly gives a hint regarding the qualifications of a teacher of Brahm Vidya. He should be one who has been properly instructed by his mother in childhood, because mother is our first guru. By the father later on, and by the teacher after proper initiation. Presence of these 3 in our life is so important if we want to evolve. Absence of any one or more of these will seriously affect a person's spiritual progress. All the teachers of King Janak might have all these 3 qualifications, and therefore whatever they have taught is proper. But the only defect being that they are not the whole in themselves or complete in themselves. So that's why Rishi Yajnavalkya instructs on the whole, including the remaining 3 parts left out by them. So he says it's not incorrect, but it's not complete. He says its abode, its foundation, its essence, we got to understand. So fire abides in the organ of speech. That's why often we use the word fiery speech. Or somebody talks a lot and loudly, we see that person sweating also. So the undifferentiated ether is its foundation, because it cannot be carried without the ether, the voice, the Akash element. So ether is its foundation and intelligence is its essence. Because we got to have the intelligence, we got to have the knowledge if we want to say something. So the Akash occurring in this mantra may mean either Ishwar, the unmanifested, or Hiranyagarbha. Speech is made possible by the operation of intelligence or consciousness. There is something in between speech and consciousness, and that is the Akash, the determining factor. Consciousness is the ultimate source, and the fire is the presiding deity of speech. These four form the Vedas and the other scriptures, all actions, all beings, and all worlds also. All this is an expression of speech, and speech is all this. This is how meditation on speech is to be practiced. So this is the meditation on the fourfold cosmic nature of speech. And the result of this meditation is that the meditator is adored like a god, Devata, because speech never leaves him. That person is a god in this very life, and after death he is merged in the gods. So if we see the divinity in our speech, if we speak intelligently, beneficially, we can become identified with the gods. And Janak, King Janak was very much pleased in having received instructions on this new technique of meditation. Because none of his teachers had so far taught him like this in detail. So that's why he is offering 1,000 cows and a big bull as a present to Rishi Yagyavalkya in return for the knowledge imparted. There was always an exchange between the kings and the gurus. But the sage did not accept it. And what was his message over there? He said, it is not proper to accept any wealth from anyone without completing the instructions on the Supreme. So that means that he said, I'm not done teaching. I have not taught you completely yet. It's only one part which I am teaching. So now let's look at next verse. So this is verse number 3. Again, this is a big verse. Yadev te kashit abravit shrinav itihi अब्रवीनम उतंकः शलवायना प्राणो वे भ्रमिति यथा मातृमान पितृमान आचार्यवान ब्रूयात तथा तत् शोलवायनो अब्रवीत प्राणो वे भ्रम इति प्राणतो हि किम स्यादिति अब्रवीतु ते तस्यायातनं प्रतिष्ठाम न मे अब्रवीति इति एक पाद्वः एतत् सम्राडितिः स वेनो ब्रूहि याज्ञवल्क्ये प्राण एवायतनम् आकाशः प्रतिष्ठः प्रियम् अत्येन उपासीत का प्रियता याज्ञवल्क्ये प्राण एव सम्राट इति होवाच प्राणस्य सम्राट कामाय याज्यम याज्यति अप्रतिगृहस्य प्रतिगृहादपि तत्र वधाशंकं भवति याम दिशम इति प्राणस्य एव सम्राट कामाय प्राणो वे सम्राट परमं ब्रह्म नैनम प्राणो जहाति सर्वानेयं भूताने अभिक्षरन्ति देवो भूत्वा देवान् अपीति य एनं विद्वाने तद उपासते हस्ते ऋषं सहस्रं ददामिति होवाच जनको वेदेहा स होवाच याज्ञवल्क्ये पिता मे अमन्यत नानु शिष्ये हरेरिति. Let me hear whatever anyone may have told you. Udank, the son of Shulabh, has told me that the vital force, Vayu, is verily Brahma. As one who has had a mother, a father, and a teacher should say, so has the son of Shulabh said this, that the vital force is verily Brahma. For what can a lifeless person attain? But did he tell you about its body and support? He did not tell me. This Brahm has only 1 foot, O emperor. So you tell us, Yagyavalkya, the vital force is its body. and the undifferentiated its support. It should be meditated upon as dear. What constitutes dearness, Yajnavalkya? The vital force itself, O Emperor, said Yajnavalkya. Verily, for the sake of the vital force, O Emperor, one performs sacrifices for an unqualified person and even accepts presents from an unworthy man. And for the sake of the vital force alone, O Emperor, one exposes oneself to the risk of death in any direction one may go to. The vital force, O Emperor, is verily the supreme Brahma. The vital force does not leave him who, knowing thus, meditates upon it. All beings seek him with presents, and becoming a god here, he is merged in the gods after death. Janaka, emperor of Vidya, said, I offer you 1,000 cows with an elephant-like bull. Yajnavalkya replied, my father believed that one should not accept gifts from a pupil without fully instructing him. So there is some repetition from the previous mantra also over here, because this conversation is going on between these two. And from here you can see that in the courthouse of King Janaka, these rishis often visited. Because King Janak, he just wanted to know more and more and more. Even though we know that Rishi Vyasa, he sent his own son Shukdev as a disciple to King Janak. See, these kings or these rishis, on one hand, they kept imparting this knowledge to others, but then they knew that they need to learn more and more and more. So we are always a student, even though we become a teacher. We never know everything completely. We got to have that little desire to learn more. And that's what we see in King Janak. So this mantra number 3 points out the defect in the meditation on Vayu alone as Brahma. Vayu is only a partial manifestation, 1 foot of Brahma. This is what Rishi Yajnavalkya is saying. Meditation on the fourfold cosmic Pran is prescribed by Yajnavalkya in this verse. Pran in the individual is the first foot. Its presiding deity, Vayu, is the second. Hiranyagarbha is the third. And dearness, the essence, is the fourth. Because we all know that life is nothing but love for preservation. The dearest thing is one's own life. The mantra through 3 instances show how a person adopts out of the way means to earn his livelihood. For the sake of wealth, a person serves those whom he should not sometimes. Similarly, he receives gifts from those from whom he should not. A person travels to far-off places undergoing untold difficulties for maintaining his life. Pran. All this shows that Pran is the dearest, or you can say it is the dearness itself. And in other Upanishads also, we learned how this Pran, because all these senses, they were debating who is the highest. The sight left, the body was still okay. The hearing left, body was still okay. But the minute Pran was leaving, everybody said, hold on. So this is what he's pointing out over here. The second foot is the Pran. Pran. And it's very dear to us. Pran. That's why the yoga instructors in the past also, they said, the technique to realize this Pran or expand this Pran in our body also, the pranayama, that's the soul of yoga. So he says, yes, the teacher told you that's right, but at the same time, remember, this is only one part of the whole game. Pran. So now let's look at the fourth verse also, because the message is the same in all these verses. Yadev te kaschit abravit shrinam iti abrvimne vakruvirneha चक्षुर्वहे ब्रह्मिति यथा मातृमान पितृमान आचार्यवान ब्रूयात् तथा तद्वाश्रणो अब्रवीत् चक्षुर्वहे ब्रह्मिति अपश्यतो हि किं स्यादिति अब्रवीतु ते तस्य यत्नं प्रतिष्ठाम न मे अब्रवीति इति एक पाद्वः एतत् समृद्ध इति स वै नो ब्रूहि याज्ञवल्क्ये चक्षुरेर्वायतनम् आकाशः प्रतिष्ठा सत्यं ते अनुपासीत का सत्यतः याज्ञवल्क्ये चक्षुरेव सम्राडितिः होवाच चक्षुषा वे सम्राट पश्यन्त आहुर्द्राक्षरितिः स आहा द्राक्षम इतिः तत् सत्यम भवति चक्षु वह सम्राट परमं ब्रह्म नैनम चक्षु जहातिः सर्वान एनम भूतान्यः भी क्षरन्तिः देवो भूत्वा देवानपेति च य एवं विद्वान एतत् उपासते हस्ते ऋषभ सहस्रम ददामिति होवाच जनको वदेहा स होवाच याज्ञवल्क्यः पिता मे अमन्यत नानु शिष्यः हरेर इति. So this is verse number 4. Let me hear whatever anyone may have told you. Barku, the son of Vrishna, has told me that the I verily is Brahma. As one who has had a mother, a father, and a teacher should say, so has the son of Vrishna said this, that the I is verily Brahma. For what can a sightless person attain? But did he tell you about its body and support? He did not tell me. This Brahm has only one foot, O emperor. So you tell us, Yajnavalkya, the I is its body, and the undifferentiated its sport. It should be meditated upon as truth. What constitutes the essence of truth, Yajnavalkya? The I itself, O emperor, said Yajnavalkya, verily, if they say to a person who has seen with his own eyes, did you see? And he replies, I did. Then it is true. The I, O emperor, is verily the supreme Brahma. The I does not leave him who, knowing thus, meditates upon it. All beings seek him with the presence, and becoming a god here, he is merged in the gods after death. Janak, emperor of Vidya, said, I offer you 1,000 cows with an elephant-like bull. Yajnavalkya replied, my father believed that one should not accept gifts from a pupil without fully instructing him. So you can see that the message, the same message is being carried over here. Okay. So because Yajnavalkya is saying that let me hear that which any one of your teachers has instructed you. So he wanted to know more what the other teachers told him. So King Janak replied that Barku, the son of Vrishna, has instructed me that the I is verily Brahma. And Rishi Yajnavalkya said, as one who has a mother, a father, a preceptor, should say even so, has that son of a Vrishna said the I is verily Brahma. Because what is possible for one who does not see? But then, has he taught you its abode and support? So he said, sure, I is important, but what is the support and the abode of I? And that's when King Janak said, he has not taught me this abode and the support. And Yajnavalkya said, O Emperor, indeed this is one-legged instruction. And then King Janak said, please teach me. And then Yajnavalkya said, the I is the abode, the ether is the support. One should worship it as a truth. Then King Janak asked, O Yajnavalkya, what is truthfulness? And Yajnavalkya said, I indeed, O Emperor. If they ask a man who sees with the eye, have you seen? He says, I have seen. That comes true. O Emperor, the I indeed is the supreme Brahm. I does not leave that knower who worships it. All beings go to him. Having become a god, he attains godhood. And that's when King Janak says, I will give you these cows and the bull. And Yajnavalkya replied the same. That means he says, I have not finished my instructions yet. Okay. Now let's look at the continuation of this conversation in verse number 5. यदेव ते कश्चित् अब्रवीत् शृण्वाम इति अब्रवीणेः गर्दभिः विशितो भारद्वाजः श्रोत्रं वे ब्रह्मिति यथा मातृवान् पितृवान् आचार्यवान् ब्रूयात् तथा तद् भारद्वाजः अब्रवी श्रोत्रं च वे ब्रह्मिति अशृण्वतः हि किं स्याद् इति अब्रवीतुः ते तस्य यत्नं प्रतिष्ठां न मे अब्रवी इति एक पाद्वः एतत् सम्राडितिः सवेनो ब्रूहि याज्ञवल्क्यः श्रोत्रम् आयतनम् आकाशा प्रतिष्ठा अनंत इति अनुपासीत काननन्तः याज्ञवल्क्ये दिशेव सम्राडिति होवाच तस्मात् वे सम्राडपि याम काम च दिशं गच्छति न एवस्याः अन्तं गच्छति अनन्ता हि दिशा दिशो वे सम्राट श्रोत्रम श्रोत्रम वे सम्राट परमं ब्रह्म नैनम श्रोत्रम जहाति सर्वाण्यः एनं भृतान्ये भी क्षरन्ति हि देवो भूत्वा देवान् अपीयति हि य एवं विद्वान् उपासते हस्ते ऋषभं सहस्रं ददामिति होवाच जनको वेदेह स होवाच याज्ञवल्क्यः पिता ये अमन्यत नान अनुशिष्ये हरेर इति. Let me hear whatever anyone may have told you. Gard Bhivipatah, a descendant of Bhardwaj, has told me that the ear, the directions, is verily Brahm. As one who has had a mother, a father, and a teacher should say, so has the descendant of Bhardwaj said this, that the ear is verily Brahm. For what can a person who is devoid of hearing attain? But did he tell you about its body and support? He did not tell me. This Brahm has only 1 foot, O Emperor. So you tell us, Yajnavalkya, the ear is its body and the undifferentiated its support. It should be meditated upon as infinite. What constitutes infinity, Yajnavalkya? The directions alone, O Emperor, said Yajnavalkya. Therefore, O Emperor, to whatever direction one may go, one never reaches its end. Hence, the directions are infinite. The directions, O Emperor, are verily the ear. The ear, O Emperor, is verily the supreme Brahm. The ear does not leave him who knowing thus meditates upon it. All beings seek him with presence and becoming a god here. He is merged in the gods after death. Janak, emperor of Vidhe, said, I offer you 1,000 cows with an elephant-like bull. Yagyavalkya replied, my father believed that one should not accept gifts from a pupil without fully instructing him. So this is verse number 5. And this meditation is on the ear. And the presiding deity, the directions. And it's a support which is Hiranyagarbha. And beautifully explained, the essence is infinity. That's why he said, no matter which direction you go to, you will never see the end of it. In other words, there's no end to Brahma. It's infinite. We cannot say that after 2 miles or 200 miles or 2,000 miles, it will end. It will not end. So no matter which way we go, wherever we go, Brahm is everywhere. Not in just one particular direction. We're going to stop it here and finish it next week. A couple of verses left, but we'll just talk a little bit more about it next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaye Purnameva Vishishyate Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you very much for joining.